You know, I've been writing scripts for my videos for a while, but I still raw dog a video every now and then, and I'm doing that right now. And I'm trying to remember how to do that. Greetings all my sapphic horse girls. Den here. So anyway, let's go back to the beginning. About a month ago, I acquired myself this 1990 Greco EGC-600, which is a made in Japan copy of a Gibson Les Paul Custom. And I absolutely love this thing. Now, for those of you that know how to read, you're probably asking yourself, okay, then why did you title this video in the way that you did? And that is unfortunately because I've discovered a little bit of an issue with this guitar. And I mean that very literally. The issue is it's not even like this big, but it's a pretty considerable issue, I would say. But you know, who wrote that song? Nobody's Perfect? I can't remember. I'm not a 2000s Disney girl. I was much more of a Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon idiot myself. I have owned and played this guitar non-stop for the past month. Usually when I get new guitars, I do like an unboxing, first impressions video, and then about a month later, I do a follow-up, like actual review of the guitar, and that's what this is. And if you guys couldn't tell, I've been a little hard-pressed to get this thing out of my hands. I can't stop playing it, actually. And that's usually the case for like every guitar that's new to you. You know, you always gotta have that honeymoon period. But this one is different because not only is it my first made in Japan guitar, it's my first vintage guitar. And I have to point this out every time, but yes, 1990 is vintage. My feelings are just as hurt about it as yours are. I know it's scary, but I think we just all have to accept that we are far closer to ending up in a retirement home than we would like to believe. And for those of you that may or may not know, made in Japan guitars are kind of put up on this pedestal because the large consensus is that Japanese guitars are just, you know, better than any other country's guitars. And in my anecdotal experience, that's not entirely untrue, I must say. This thing absolutely rips. It feels so broken in, it looks incredible. Every time I look at this guitar, I get a big stupid grin on my face. And this thing has so much mojo, it could send Austin Powers into an existential crisis. I absolutely love this guitar. It's a guitar that deserves a nickname. I just can't for the life of me think of one. So if you guys can come up with a good nickname for this guitar, you know, send it down in the comments. I am open to suggestions. For starters, let me give you guys a quick little refresh about this guitar and all its specs and whatnot. So again, this is a Greco EGC-600. It was built in 1990 from Fujigen in Japan. In the last video I said I wasn't sure if FGN was still around or not. Actually, I did. I was well aware that they are still around. For some reason, I just didn't put two and two together. My brain is just a bag of sand at this point. It barely works anymore. But anywhooser, this guitar is made with a mahogany body and a maple cap. It's got a mahogany neck and a rosewood fingerboard, proper made in Japan Keystone style tuners. I don't need to go on the whole tirade, you guys should get it by now. I'm almost positive this guitar came with a full-blown bone nut, so make sure you tell your wife about that when you go home later today. It's got a proper vintage ABR1 style bridge that screws directly into the body, which is very cool, and it came to me with some manliest T-top replica pickups thrown in there. And they sound pretty big and sick if I do say so myself. This guitar comes with a volute on the headstock, which is always a nice sign to see, especially considering this guitar has Gibson's wild-ass 17-degree headstock angle that it absolutely does not need. And of course, this guitar comes with a Slim C neck shape. It is just a tad bit more round than a 60s Slim Taper, but it is still a pretty thin neck, and I quite enjoy it. Now, this guitar did not come to me perfect. There is wear and tear and bumps and bruises literally all over this guitar, and I absolutely love that. This guitar even suffered a little crack in the headstock in its past, but that has since been glued shut. And in its 35 years of being alive, you can see that it has experienced a bit of UV and tobacco exposure, because this alpine white finish has aged into this beautiful off-white cream. It has been quite the trip actually getting to own and experience what a vintage guitar actually feels like. If you guys have ever been with a Cougar, you'll know what I'm saying. You'll get it. Don't get me wrong, I love a brand new guitar, but vintage guitars are just an entirely new experience that is pretty damn cool, I must say. I feel like every guitar guitar player should get to experience playing a vintage guitar at least once. However, while I love this guitar, like I said, it did not come perfect. There are a few little issues with this guitar as well. Starting off with little things, this guitar does seem to have a little bit of trouble staying in tune. Now, I know that's not the most shocking thing to ever hear about a Les Paul. I don't know, there's just some days where it feels like I can't get this guitar perfectly in tune. Like, not enough to where any normal person would overtly notice that it's out of tune, but my OCD ass can definitely tell some days that it's not perfectly in tune. Another thing is that a lot of the electronics in this guitar are pretty old and pretty crusty. Like, this toggle switch is pretty damn loose, and I can't really tighten it down anymore because I feel like these threads are stripping. I'm probably gonna have to throw in a new toggle switch onto this thing one day. Same thing with the jack. It is getting a little wiggly and a little loose, but I don't really feel the threads on this one stripping, so they probably just need to be tightened down real good. As I mentioned a second ago, the headstock did have a crack in it. Even though it has since been repaired, that is something of note. And that brings us to the biggest issue with this guitar, which is ironic because it is a very, very, very small issue, like physically. And I feel like it's something that happened during shipping. One of the frets has a dent in it. It's way down here on the 20th fret, so I mean, it only becomes a problem when you're playing way down here, but I mean, just listen to this. If you guys remember in the unboxing, when I opened up this guitar, there wasn't anything in between the strings and the fretboard, which is a pretty highly recommended thing that you do, because when guitars are getting shipped, it's not like the courier's employees are aware that it is a sensitive guitar. They will toss that shit around like it was your mom in college. And sometimes the guitar gets bonked in just the right way to where the strings press up against the fretboard with way too much force and they dent the frets. I believe Aggiefish had a very similar issue with a real expensive Gibson custom shop that Sweetwater sent him. And again, it's way down here on the 20th fret, so it really only becomes an issue when you're soloing way down here. But that's how I discovered that there was a dent in the frets. And it's, man, it's just heartbreaking, I tell you. It's a first world problem for sure, but again, I have OCD, so it just bothers me. It feels like I'm not allowed to play down here on this guitar. Now, obviously, I am going to get this fixed. I just don't know what way to go about it. Because here's the other thing. These frets are really low. This guitar is basically like a fretless wonder at this point, which has been like a unique, cool experience. I don't dislike it enough to where I'm not playing this guitar, but after getting some solid hours on this guitar, I'm not too positive that I like lower fret wire. I think I do prefer bigger fret wire like what comes on my LTDs. I'm not too positive. I'm not that well versed on like frets and what you need to do for them, but I'm pretty sure that if I'm gonna fix this fret down here, don't I have to level the rest of the frets to where they're equal to that? And if that's the case, I don't really want to do that because these frets are already pretty damn low. Now, I could just get it refretted, but that shit's expensive. I feel like that is the route that I'm gonna go, but I wonder if, like, in the meantime, would it be okay if I just fix this? I don't know as much about like frets as I should, just because I've never really worked on them. Like, it's not a crazy dent, but it is a little deep. So I don't know how low you'd actually have to shave off that fret, and I don't know if you'd have to make the rest of the frets even afterwards. I feel like you would, and I don't really know if I want to make these frets even lower than they already are. I don't know, guys. I'm scared. Go down in the comments and tell me what to do. But regardless of that tiny little dent on the 20th fret of this guitar, I absolutely love this thing. I got so attached to this guitar right away, guys. And I absolutely love that this guitar is already old and beat and ran through, because that means I don't really feel bad about changing stuff on this guitar, you know? Like if I have to swap out this toggle switch, that's fine. I love these pickups, but I do either want to get some aged gold covers for these pickups or just swap them out for different pickups. I've always wanted to try out those DiMarzio Fortitude pickups, so that might be something I throw into this guitar. And then I could have these T-top replicas that I can throw into a different guitar. However, I am really digging the way that it looks with these uncovered pickups, I can't lie. So it is gonna stay like this for a while, but at a certain point, I would like to either throw some aged gold covers onto these pickups or get some new pickups with some aged gold covers. At some point, I am going to refret this guitar and put some bigger fret wire on it. I'll wait till then to decide if I want to put just regular nickel frets or maybe invest and put some stainless steel frets onto this thing. I don't know yet. It's gonna be a journey making this guitar my own guitar. Like, I love the way this thing looks. I love the way this thing feels. Oh, it's a sick guitar. There's just some problems with it. It's just so like acoustically resonant too. I am horrendously down bad for the white Les Paul Custom. And to just finally get one in this perfect aged cream that's actually vintage, made in Japan. Oh, dude, this guitar is so damn cool. I just can't help but start cheesing like a little idiot whenever I look at this guitar. Yes, this guitar needs some work and it's gonna be stuff that happens over time. But even in its less than perfect state right now, this has quickly become one of my favorite guitars that I've ever owned. Like, the only things I don't think I objectively love about this guitar are probably the height of the frets and the fact that it's a rosewood fingerboard. I used to think it was silly when people said that Les Paul Customs need to have an ebony fretboard, but I kind of feel the same way now. But like I said in the unboxing video, this rosewood fretboard is dark enough to where I feel like it gets a pass. It's fine. It's not like I can really feel or hear a difference between ebony and rosewood. It's really only like a visual thing that I'm like kind of picky about. Not to say you can't hear the difference. I'm just deaf. My hearing really isn't the best. But other than that, I absolutely love this guitar, guys. I think I've said that probably like 50 times in this video. Refret is definitely in this guitar's future, but till then, I don't really know what I should do about this little dent down here. I don't know if that can be a quick and easy fix or if I'm gonna have to go get this thing crowned and dressed and all that other bullshit. Because again, it's not the biggest issue on planet Earth, but it does bug me that when I am playing in this upper registrar, that dent can really kill the vibe. Ugh, just makes my teeth itch every time I hear that sound. But yeah, other than that, I do not regret this purchase whatsoever. Like, I'm looking at it through the camera right now and shit, dude, this thing looks so good. But I think we are gonna wrap up the video with that. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. I really hope you guys enjoyed. As always, go down there and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. You guys always act like know-it-alls in the comments, and this is one time where I'm asking you guys for help, so educate me. Let me know what I should do about that dent in the comments. Give me your guys' opinions, and then I will go from there. Smack the bajonkles out of that like button, share the video around, and if you regularly watch my videos and you haven't already subscribed, then I'm gonna dent the frets on all of your Les Pauls. And then I'm gonna fart in your mouth. Big shout out and a thank you to Cosmic Steez, A Horse Running, Solar Flare, Rob Heath, Bad Joe Guitars, Brandon's Ballast Corner, Bandage Knives, Jan Chocolate, Leagues Beneath, Scott Toman, Master Chief, Big Tills, and Torch of Hope. These big old gazongas are my current channel members and their support really does mean a lot. If you wanna join them, get a shout out in my longer videos, get access to the members only videos, and just help support this channel in a bigger way, then you can go down there, click the join button, tiers start as low as 3 schmeckles. There's also the super thanks button down there if you just wanna give me some money, but I am done being a tool. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Now piss off, you little shit.